I've had kids say that to me. Okay. Yeah, definitely put the plays in and let it go. Or they say it's game in this thing.
Let's give these young athletes a round of applause. They will be your future Mifflin County Huskies. At this time, if you're able, would you please rise and place your right hand over your heart for the playing of our national anthem.
We're here, you're here.
Yeah, that'll work.
I have a sweatshirt. Yeah. My grandson has it.
Anthem's already out of the way, so that's not going to be.
It's a gold out in Mifflin County, where the Mifflin County Huskies are going to be taking on Mount Union in their third non-conference game in the last four. Parker Crownover is going to be on the mound tonight for the Huskies. We should have a good one on our hands. The Trojans are 12-4 entering this game, leading their conference. The Huskies are 7-4. A couple of their games earlier in the season got rained out, postponed later to the season. But now they're playing Mount Union. This game was scheduled for earlier a couple weeks ago, as captains and coaches are going to meet right at home plate. Last time here at Capoulilez Field, the Huskies won a nail-biter 3-2 against Chambersburg. Chambersburg scored 2 in the top half of the 7th, as Grady Hopple went 6 2/3 innings, shut out. At the end of the run, at the end of the day, the stat line had 2 earned runs, but nonetheless, the Huskies pulled out the dub. When we return, first pitch live on MCTV Baseball. Crownover on the mound today for the Huskies. So we should have a good game on our hands tonight. Huskies have won their last 3, trying to make it a 4-game winning streak, beating Kerwinsville, Bald Eagle area, and Chambersburg. Chambersburg, the only in-conference team that they've beaten in this 3-game stretch. Mifflin County currently sits second in the Commonwealth Conference after Cumberland Valley lost to Central Dauphin yesterday.
Welcome into Capoulilez Field. This is Mifflin County Baseball on WCHS 105.5. As a catalog here with filling in for Craig Rutherford and Dominic Reed as the Huskies get set to win the Mount Union Trojans. Always a pleasure to cover this matchup each season. Mifflin County and Mount Union. Last year was played at Mount Union.
It'll be Julian Weinrich leading us off for Mount Union. Crownover set. The first pitch of the game will be high for ball 1. One-0 count to the senior. Crownover set the pitch. It's going to get chopped back foul. into the fence, and it's going to be a 1-1 count to the senior. Weinrich plays outfield and at the pitcher spot. Here comes the 1-1. That one's going to be hit in the gap to short. It'll get by Weaver, and it'll be a single for Weinrich. Now batting Jamin Rannick, sophomore. Hitting in the 2-hole. Crownover set on the mound, the pitch. Outside for ball 1. Mountain Union in the blue and white pinstripes. Runner takes his lead at first. Crownover looks back. Swings through that one, and it'll be a 1-1 count. Swung for over the trees on that one. Pickoff attempt is in there safely. Mount Union very rowdy here. A batter into the game. The 1-1 pitch. Runner's going to take off for second. That one's going to get over the shortstop's head. They're going to send him round to third. The play at the bag in there safely. And it'll be a double, and Mount Union's loud. Mount Union, maybe the loudest team I've ever seen. 3 batters in. As Crownover throws a nice sinker there for strike 1. Here comes the 0-1. Swings through that one, and a beautiful slider from Crownover puts him ahead 0-2. Here comes the 0-2 to Shaver. He struck him out. Throw down over to first. In time. That'll be out number 1. Strikeout number 1 for Crownover. Got him on a slider low and away. Levi Hunsinger can play first and catcher. Swings through strike 1, and Crownover's found his rhythm. 2 batters after allowing the double. He's thrown 4 straight strikes. Here comes the 0-1. That one's going to be low and away. It'll be 1s across the board. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. 2 in scoring. 0-0 is our score. If you're just joining us, we welcome you to MCTV. Here comes the 1-1. That one's going to be hit the third. It'll go through Christine's glove, and it'll score a run as Mount Union leads 1-0 early. So Mount Union leads 1-0 on 2 hits and an error by the Huskies. Crownover checks first. The 0-0 will take ball high. We a 1-0 count. Crownover set back on the mound, the 1-0. Will take strike 1 on the lower outside part of the plate. It'll be 1s across the board once again. Runners on the corners. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Mount Union leads 1-0 after the RBI by Huntinger. That one's going to be chopped down to second. 6. 3 unassisted double play, and the Huskies get out of the big-time jam, only allowing 1 run. Mifflin County with a big-time double play to strand the runner at third with 1 out. Now it's the Huskies' turn to hit. It'll be Strohecker, Alexander, Rubel leading us off, Smith in the 4-hole. Christine will hit fifth, who hit the home run against Bald Eagle Wednesday. That's the Huskies' lone home run of the season.
Oh no, they know. They don't need it. Yeah, no, I'm saying when I said ugly baseball. They deal with it too. I don't know how they deal with it. It's amazing.
Okay.
You know it's a big game when the local radio station's here to broadcast. And that's what we have on our hands tonight.
Capoulilez Field. This is Mifflin County Baseball on WCHX 105.5, and it is brought to you by Blaze Alexander Subaru, our pregame sponsor with Bond Furniture, Forest Creekside Tavern, Boulevard Takeout, and Corner Golf, First Area Federal Credit Union, Heller Hohenstein Funeral Home, Juniata Valley Tri-County Drug and Alcohol Abuse Commission, Lewistown Cabinets, Magnum Motors, Woods Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning, Victory Auto, and our timeout sponsor, Parkways for the store. Plenty of thanks as always to all our sponsors for making this afternoon's broadcast of Husky baseball possible here on WCHX 105.5. As we head into the bottom half of the first, the score is 1-0. Mount Union is splitting the lead over Mifflin County, and we'll go through the Huskies starting lineup for this afternoon's ball game. Leading off for Mifflin County, it'll be the center fielder Evan Strohecker.
Warm-ups are done. Strohecker will step into the box for the Huskies. Huskies looking to try and bring the same energy that Mountain Union did in the top half of this inning. On the mound for the Trojans, number 20, David Yoakum. Here comes the 0-0 to Strohecker. It's going to squeeze one down the third base line, and Strohecker will beat it out safely as the Huskies' tying run is on first base. Third baseman now plays up after the drag bunt by Strohecker to get him safely at first. 1 pitch, 1 bunt, 1 hit for the Huskies. Rubel now set in the box. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be high and outside for ball 1. Yoakum looks back at first. The pitch. That one's going to be chopped third. He'll lose the ball. It's 5-4 safely at first. Looks like he lost the ball a little bit. Nice job by the third baseman to regather it. Smith coming up to the plate. Smith now comes up to the plate. 1 on first, 1 out. Pickoff attempt is in there safely.
Numbers for this starter for Mount Union, Yoakum's 2.50 ERA, 2 on the year.
Will take strike 1 with a curveball on the outside part of the plate. Smith didn't like the call. Here comes the 0-1 to the first baseman. Pickoff attempt. He's in there safely. Here comes the 0-1 to Smith. Smith fouls one off. Smith just on top of that one. It'll be an 0-2 count to Smith, runner on first. Here comes the 0-2. Runner's going to take off. That's going to be low in the dirt, and it'll take second easily. Here comes the 0-2 to Smith after the 1-2 to Smith after the stolen base. Smith's gonna hit one left field, tracking. It'll go foul, out of play, and will stay the same. Wind's blowing from right to left. Here comes the 1-2 to Smith. Smith's gonna bloop one down. Nice catch by the second baseman for out 2. Now coming up to the plate, Reese Christine. Reese Christine has the only home run of the season for the Huskies against Bald Eagle area in their last game out Wednesday. Huskies won that game Wednesday 13-3 in 5 innings of play. That TiVo got going on the mound. Christine's going to hit one right field. Reels it in for out 3. We're through 1 on MCTV. Huskies trailing the Trojans 1-0. We're through 1 at Capoulilez Field. Huskies trail the Trojans 1-0. Crownover takes back over on the mound. Leading off for Mount Union will be number 5, Maddox Hobbs. Freshman, made the varsity team. Love to see it. Let's get some of these younger guys up, playing up against this good competition on both sides of the dugout. That one's going to be chopped. Christine fields it over to third to play over to first. And time for out 1. A quick out 1 from Parker Crownover. Now batting will be number 28, Cody McLean. This will be Crownover's 17th pitch of the game. Here comes the pitch. That one's going to be chopped to second. Hopple right there. And 2 pitches, 2 outs. We could see a 3-pitch inning here. Now batting number 25. Swings through that one. It'll be strike 1. Now batting number 25, George Beigler, first baseman and pitcher, one needed. Here comes the 0-1 from Crownover. Curveball high. It'll be a 1-1 count. It's going to be fouled off back behind us. Be a 1-2 count now to the 8-hitter. The left-handed hitter steps into the box. Here comes the 1-2. That one's going to be chopped. Foul. Forecast scheduled for some rain today. Wasn't sure if we were going to get this in, but it is beautiful here at Capoulilez Field. Beigler steps into the plate once more. The 1-2. He struck him out to end the inning. Parker Crownover, 3 up, 3 down in the second inning. You're watching MCTV when we return to the bottom half of the second. Elliot Yetter walks behind us there. It's the beauty of live sports. You can never know what happens in between the innings. Nonetheless, bottom of the second. This game has quickly gone by here so far, live on MCTV. Huskies trail 1-0. Bottom half of the second inning is upon us. Huskies left Rubel on second base last time up, and Madden Weaver's going to come up to the plate to start the bottom half of the second.
Welcome back into Capoulilez Field. Mifflin County Baseball on WCHS. 105.5. Score 1-0. Mount Union with the lead in this matchup. Heading to the bottom half of the second. And leading off the inning for Mifflin County is going to be Matt Weaver.
Weaver plays shortstop, designated hitter at times, when needed. The left-hander steps into the box. Bottom half of the second inning begins with a strike. Curveball down the middle. It'll be an 0-1 count. Weaver's going to chop one foul out of play. It'll be an 0-2 count quickly to the shortstop. Here comes the 0-2. Weaver's going to chop one back, hits the pitcher's glove, still the throw over, and that was an interesting play to say the least off of the pitcher's glove. Shortstop came in for relief, I guess you could say, on that one, and that'll be a way to start the bottom half of the second. Ty Plank now, the right fielder, is going to come up to the plate. Here comes the pitch. We'll take ball high and away. It'll be a 1-0 count. Crownover now is on deck for the Huskies. Here comes the 1-0. Plank's going to chomp one down to third. Throw over to first. In time for out 2. This game was scheduled to start at 5 o'clock. It is 5:13 through 2 innings. This might be one of the quickest full 7-inning games of the season. As Crownover steps up to the plate. We have a pitcher versus pitcher duel. Crownover will take strike 1 on a curveball. Here comes the 0-1. Outside. Crownover steps into the box. The 1-1 pitch to the other pitcher. Chopped foul on the third base dugout. The 1-2 pitch to Crownover. Crownover's going to chop one down to second base. Fielded cleanly to play at the bag. Out, and it'll be 3 up, 3 down for Davin Yoko. When we return, third inning action live on MCTV Baseball. Key for Mount Union as their coach or player, as I overheard them about 10, 15 feet to my left. They say, we want to break this game open and we want to do it now.
Yeah, give credit to Mifflin County. You can't take anything away from what you said about Mount Union. Mifflin County stuck in, in this game so far. They ended up Mount Union 31 running. That came back in the first inning. Mifflin County got to feel pretty good about that.
Mifflin County, not usually known for coming back behind. They usually take the lead at the start and they hold on to it. This is kind of a different change of pace here. So that's the second time that the away team has had a run in the first inning at Capoulilez Field. The other time was at Reverse Altoona's. That one is going to go around for strike 1. The only other time that a run was scored in the top half of the first inning at Capoulilez Field was against Altoona. Here comes the 0-1. Inside for ball 2. Crownover falls down on the mound. Let's back up. He's okay. Crownover is set. Here comes the 1-1. High and inside for ball 2. Collins at the plate for Mount Union. Dugout is loud. Here comes the 2-1. High and inside for ball 3. Here comes the 3-1 pitch to Crownover. That one's going to be chopped up the middle. Christine's going to fumble the ball, not able to get him at first, and he's in there safe. Reached on an infield single. Christine and Crownover both kind of called for it there. Both backed out. Christine wasn't able to get anything done with that, though. Now, Winder comes up to the plate. Top of the order comes up for Mount Union. Runner on first, no outs. Squeeze bunt attempt, popped up in the air. Lepley not able to get back to it. Crownover on the mound. Runner on first. The 0-1 pitch to the leadoff. Weinrich. Collins at first. Crownover, pick off the first, and they're safely. Runner on first. The 0-1, another pickoff attempt. He's in there safe. Mifflin County, known for throwing pickoffs, going at their own pace, especially on the mound. Here comes the 0-1. High and inside. It'll be a 1-1 count. Wind picks up, still from right field to left. Squeezes down bunt. Lepley, the throw down to second. He got him at second. Easton Lepley with a big time throw down. Umpire got in the way a little bit from our camera angle. Our apologies. And a big time throw down from Easton Lepley. Now the 1-2 to Weinhardt. Popped up, straight up in the air. Weaver's going to call it, reels it in for out 2. And instead of having a 1-0 count with 1 on first base, it'll be 2 outs here and a difference of 5 pitches. Now coming up to the plate, Jamin Rannick. Crownover on the mound. Here comes the 0-0. We'll take strike 1. Here comes the 0-1. That one's going to be hit just over the head of Jaden Smith, and that'll get down in the gap. They're going to send him around first. He's digging for 2. They're going to send him. They're going to keep him at second, and it'll be a stand-up double for Rannick. Now batting, here comes number 12, Dylan Shaver. Shaver with a big-time chance to add some more to this 1-0 lead for the Trojans. If you're just joining us, we welcome you all to MCTV. Huskies trail 1-0 through 2 2/3. Here, top half of the third. Runner on second. Here comes the first pitch. We'll take strike 1. Huskies' next game is scheduled for tomorrow against State College at 10 a.m. That game might get postponed due to weather. That one's going to be hit over the second baseman's head. Here comes the runner around third, and the Trojans lead 2-0. Big time energy from Dylan Shaver. Made the big time play over at third. Has another big play at first, or at the plate, I should say. And now Mount Union leads 2-0. Mount Union might not be done. Levi Hunzer comes up to the plate. Will take strike 1 on a curveball from Crownover. Here comes the 0-0, or the 0-1. That'll be chopped as short. Play over to second in time for the third out of the inning. As now the Huskies, or the Trojans, double their lead from the first inning in the third. When we return, Huskies looking to cut the lead in half and maybe even tie it up live on MCTV. So we welcome you back to the bottom half of the third inning. Huskies trail 2-0. This is a non-conference game, but both teams' energies, from what I'm seeing, they're acting like this is a state championship, especially Mount Union, up 2-0. Grady Hopple now comes up to the plate. Bloop and a blast could tie this game for Mifflin County. Here comes the 0-0. Takes low and outside for ball one. Grady taking his time. Steps back into the box. Senior son of Ray Hopple. That one will be taken low and away. So the ball rolls right in front of us. Jason Lepsley comes to grab it. He's on deck for the Huskies. Here comes the pitch. That's going to be taken for strike one. Barely clipped the outside part of the plate. And it'll be now a 2-1 count to the coach's son. Here comes the pitch to Hopple. Hopple's going to foul one back. And it'll be a 2-2 count. Huskies won the last time between these two 5-3. Here comes the 2-2. Takes ball three just a tad high, and we'll go to the payoff pitch. 3 balls, 2 strikes, no out. Leadoff hitter at the bottom of the third. Huskies trail by 2. Here comes the payoff. We'll take strike 3 on the outside part of the plate. Easton Lepley now comes up to the plate, plays catcher for the Huskies. Here comes the first pitch to Lepley. We'll take strike 1. Here comes the 0-1. Lepley swings through that. Got him with the curveball, and it'll be quickly 0-2 to the catcher. Huskies' only hit of the game has been a bunt by Evan Strohecker, who's on deck. Here comes the 0-2 to Lepley. Lepley's going to dribble one down to the pitcher, the play at the base, in time for the out. Now up to the plate, Evan Strohecker. Strohecker now comes up to the plate and has had the hot bat as of the last couple weeks. We'll take strike 1 outside. Here comes the 0-1 to Strohecker. Takes low. It'll be a 1-1 count to the leadoff. Strohacker's going to hit a little dribbler back to first base. The play at the base, nobody's covering. And Evan Strohacker has his second infield single of the game. Runner on first, 2 outs. Huskies trying to rally. Strohacker at first. Here comes the 0-0 to Rubel. Rubel's going to hit one to short. He's going to throw it over to first. Rubel not in time as the Huskies trail by 2 to the Trojans when we return the 4th inning. Live on MCTV. Trojans 2, Huskies 0.
Welcome back into Capoulilez Field. This is Mifflin County Baseball on WCA Chapel 105.5. When we come back on the 4th, score is 2-0.
We go to the 4th inning here live on MCTV. Huskies trail by 2 and the Trojans looking to add on more. Coach Hopple got his 100th win his last time out against Bald Eagle area. 113-3 and 5. Count over on the mound. Here comes the first pitch of the 4th. Curveball, or that one looked like it tried to break, just didn't, and it'll be a 1-0 count. Here comes the 1-0. It's going to be low and away. It'll be a 2-0 count. Now batting is Weinrich. Here comes the 2-0. That one's going to be hit to third. Christine fields cleanly to throw it over to first. In time, and it'll be out number 1 by the put out by Reese Christine.
Second baseman.
Middle of the order for Mountain Union coming up. Here comes the first pitch. It's going to be very similar fashion. High. It'll be a 1-0. Count to number 5. That'll be Maddox Hobbs. Here comes the pitch. Maddox is going to pop one up. Crownover's going to call it. Makes the catch for out 2. Here comes the 1-0. It's going to be chopped to short. Throw over, and that'll be a quick 4th inning. Live on MCTV. Crownover gets the job done. When the Huskies return, it'll be 3-4-5 due up. Huskies down by 2, trying to erase the lead. Live on MCTV. A quick one here at Capoulilez Field is we're going to wrap up warm-ups here for the bottom half of the fourth inning. We're halfway through this game.
Moving right along into the bottom half of the fourth.
3-4-5 due up. It'll be Smith, Christine, and Weaver, I believe, due up, if I'm not mistaken. Don't 100% on that. But what I do know is James Smith's coming up to the plate. Had a hard-fought at-bat his last time up. We'll take outside ball 1. Here comes the pitch. Take outside. It'll be a 2-0 count to Smith. Here comes the 2-0. That one's going to be chopped to second. Throw down to first. In time for out 1. Christine coming up to the plate now for the Huskies. It will be Weaver due up. On deck for the Huskies. Tomorrow, 10 a.m., bright and early. I hope you have your coffee as the Huskies take on State College. That one just a bit outside. It'll be a 1-0 count. State College, Huskies looking to get their revenge from senior night. Christine's going to chop one to third. It'll be a tough throw over to first and out. They called him out. Christine doesn't believe the call. Looked safe over here. Here comes Weaver up to the plate. Takes inside for ball 1. Here comes the 1-0 pitch to Weaver. That's going to be low and away. Well, too. Here comes 2-0. Take strike 1 on the outside part of the plate. Here comes the 2-1 to Weaver. Weaver swings through that. It'll be 2s across the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Huskies have 2 hits and 2 errors as the Trojans lead 2-0. Here comes the 2-2 to Weaver. Takes high and inside. Count goes full. Plank on deck for the Huskies if needed. Weaver steps into the box. The payoff pitch. He's going to foul back and hit the catcher right in the mask. Looks like he's okay. Catcher looks to be okay. We'll do the 3-2 once more after the foul ball by Weaver. The payoff pitch. Weaver's going to chop one. Nice play by Yoakum. The throw down to first in time for out 3. And Yoakum has shut out the Huskies through 4. You're watching MCTV when we return the final 3 innings of baseball.
into the top half of the fifth. Our score is 2-0. Mount Union is leading Mifflin County.
Bigler coming up to the plate to lead off the fifth inning. Top of the fifth inning. You're watching MCTV. Crown Over's going to stay on the bump for the Huskies tomorrow. State College, 10 a.m. Rise and shine. Here comes the first pitch outside, and it'll be a 1-0 count. Mount Union's loud. Here comes the pitch. We'll take strike one. I never threw a silencer on that one. Or not. Here comes the 1-1. That one will be swung through strike two. The 1-2 pitch from Crownover. Outside. That'll be a 2-2 count now to the first baseman, Bilger. Here comes the pitch. Outside, count goes full. 8-9-1 due up here in the top half of the fifth. Mount Union leads 2-0. Trojan dugout is loud. The payoff pitch. Outside, and he'll draw a walk. Here at Capoulilez Field. Collins drew a walk, got caught stealing his last time up.
Mifflin County is so far with 2 hits to show for it. To that point, I would not be surprised.
First pitch to Collins of the at-bat, pickoff attempt in there safely. Looking to bunt, will take strike one.
Don't get to see all your hard work pay off on the jerseys anymore, at least here at the full field. They're happy.
Tries to squeeze the bunt down, wasn't able to. And it'll be ones across the board. 1 ball, 1 strike, runner on first. Mount Union has scored a run every other inning, which by trends, which means that they should score this one. Someone's going to be taken high and inside.
You know them white uniforms and white shoes.
Here comes the 2-1. Looks to bunt, and it'll be low and away. And it'll be a 3-1 count now. 2 Collins. Trojan dugout is loud once more. 3 balls, 1 strike. 2 Collins will take strike 2. 3 balls, 2 strikes, no out. Runner on first. Trojans lead 2-0. This could be a big momentum at bat for the Huskies. The 3-2 chopped back through the umpire's legs. We'll do it again. Runner looks back. Here comes the 3-2. Take strike 3. He struck him out. Crownover's second strikeout of the game. Here comes Weinrich coming up to the plate. Runner on first. 1 out. Top of the 5th inning. Trojans lead 2-0. Looking to add on more. Takes outside. It'll be a 1-0 count. Now here comes the 1-0. It's going to be chopped to third. 5, 4. Not going to get him at third. So it'll be a 5-4 fielder's choice. Now coming up to the plate, Jamin Rannick. The 2-hitter comes up. Sophomore. Runner on first, 2 outs. Runner's going to take off here. We're going to get in a pickle. Got him out at second. And now the Huskies looking to try and get the bats going. Nice play by Parker Crownover to throw the pickoff. When we return the bottom half of the fifth, I guess we could call this the fifth inning stretch. Huskies trying to get hype, trying to get back in the game. You're watching MCTV Baseball.
WCHX 105.5 after this.
We return to the bottom of the fifth inning. And it'll be 5, 6, 7 due up here. Plank, the right fielder, steps up into the plate. Huskies have not scored a run in the 7th inning all year. I couldn't think of a better time to do it now than this out-of-conference rivalry. The Trojans from the ICC conference. That one's going to be chopped up the middle. And the same way the 4th inning ended, it's going to be the same way the 5th one starts. As Yoakum fields the chopper back up the middle. Now coming up to the plate, Parker Crownover. Mifflin County from the Commonwealth. Currently sits second. Mount Union sits in the ICC. Sits undefeated in conference play. Comes the 0-0. Crownover swings through strike one. Crownover gets set. Here comes the 0-1. It's going to be low in the dirt. And it'll be ones across the board. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Will take strike 1 or strike 2 in the dirt. Take strike 2 in the dirt. Here comes the 1-2. One's going to be outside. Here comes the 2-2. Crownover's going to chop one foul over to Coach Hoppel. Pitcher v. pitcher duel, second time that these two was faced. Here comes the pitch. That one's going to be hit once again to Yoakum off his glove to play it first in time. And 3 straight 1-3 putouts. You don't see that often in baseball. Hoppel tries to get a rally starter for the Huskies. Allowed 2 hits through 4 2/3. Here comes the pitch. Hoppel's going to foul one off. Hoppel, the right-handed second baseman, set in the box. Here comes the pitch. Hoppel's going to foul one off. And now it'll be an 0-2 count to the second baseman. Hoppel, a senior. Capoulilez Field. Here comes the 0-2 pitch to Hoppel. Going to be low in the dirt for ball 1.
They're working on it. Putting
Union scoring their run. Started off scoring. One across. Top half of the first.
Hopple steps back in the box after taking ball one. The 1-2 pitch with 2 outs. Lepley on deck. Hopple's going to line one down the line fair. It'll be the 3rd hit for the Huskies. They're going to send Hopple around first. Comes back, and Grady Hopple with a momentum hit in the bottom of the 4th, 5th. Now coming up, Easton Lepley. Strohacker 2 for 2 on deck if Lepley can reach. Yoakum is set. Here comes the pitch. Lepley's going to crush one left field. Going back, getting underneath it for the out. And Lepley just missed the tying swing. When we return, we got 2 innings of baseball left to be played live on MCTV Baseball.
Back after this on WCHS 105.5. Welcome back to Huskies Baseball on WCHX 105.5. Isaac Allock here with John
Crownover's going to stay out here for the 6th inning.
Sponsored by Blaze Alexander Subaru, our pregame sponsor, Bond Furniture, Forest Creekside Tavern, Boulevard, Takeout and Corner Ball, First Area Federal Credit Union, Keller Home Funeral Home, United Valley Tri-County Drug and Alcohol Abuse Commission, Freestyle Cabinets, Magnum Motors, Woods Plumbing, Heating and Air Conditioning, Victory Auto, and our timeout sponsor, who is Parkway Service Store. And many thanks to these sponsors.
Crownover gets set on the mound. Here comes the first pitch of the inning. Will take low and inside for ball 1. You're watching MCTV Baseball. I'm Aiden Stevens. Here comes the pitch. That's going to be low in the dirt. It'll be a 2-0 count. Here comes the 2-0. Chop down the line. It'll be foul. It'll be a 2-1. 2-1 count.
Pick that ball out of the left field corner. Logan Alexander will receive it. And this pitch count at the number now, 61 pitches. Crownover.
Here comes the 2-1 to Crownover. Will take strike 2. Here comes the 2-2 from Crownover. Set the pitch. Sweet, struck him out, swinging at the high and in curveball. It'll be strikeout number 3 for Parker Crownover. Two, 3, 4 coming up for Mountain Union. Huskies looking to go 3 up, 3 down for a real momentum swing. Swings through the pitch low in the dirt. It'll be 0-1 count to the 3-hitter. This will be the 65th pitch from Crownover. Takes strike 2 on the inside part of the plate. Here comes the 0-2 from Crownover. He struck him out! 2 straight strikeouts for Parker Crownover. Swung through another off-speed. Crownover struck out 2 and 3. Can he get 4? Low and away for ball 1. Here comes the pitch. Takes strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here comes the pitch. That one's going to be chopped to third. Gets under Christine, and it'll be a base hit. His second of the game. Matt Newton's going to call time. They're going to pinch run number 33. That'll be Kenton Osborne, the freshman. Lepley has somebody out already today. Crownover tries to put the single behind him. There's a runner on first. Comes Weirich. Crownover set in the box. Here comes the 0-0 pickoff, and they're safely. Weinrich gets set in the box. Here comes the first pitch. It's going to chop up the middle to Crownover. He's going to take it himself. And other than the single, it'll be 3 up, 3 down, and a 2-strikeout inning for Parker Crownover. When we return, we got an inning and a half left of baseball here at Capoulilez Field. Huskies down to their last 6 outs live on MCTV, down by 2. Top of the order coming up. This will be the Huskies' best chance to cut the lead, maybe tie or even take the lead. Capoulilez Field, Game 3. Strohecker 2 for 2 on the day. Reached on 2 infield singles. First pitch of the game. Dragged the bunt down the third base line, and then on that one, off of the pitcher's glove, got to first base safely. Strohecker 2 for 2. Has had 2 of the 3 hits for the Huskies today. Strohecker will take strike 1. That one looked a little low. That's inside. That'll be a 1-1 count. One ball, 1 strike to the junior center fielder. Strohecker's going to chop it to second. Strohecker has a lot of speed on him to play it first. He's out, and it'll be out 1. Rubel coming up to the plate. He's the DH for the Huskies.
So a good bit of verbal and Babe Ruth baseball, of course, with not all of these athletes.
Pitcher is set. Here comes the 0-0 to Rubel. Rubel takes strike one.
Harlem team that won the Babe Ruth Field title last year.
Rubel is set. Here comes the pitch. Rubel crushes one left center field. That one, diving play. He got it. What a diving play by the left fielder. That is Weinrich, and that might be play of the week. That'll be on Sports Center tomorrow morning. Rubel could not have hit that ball better. Defense wins championships, and you have to win games to win championships. And those are the type of plays that'll win you games. Take strike one. Smith argues that it was outside. Looked a little outside to me. Here comes the 0-0. Smith's going to chop one foul. Hits the bat twice. Here comes the 0-2. Smith takes low. Here comes the 1-2. Smith's going to foul one back. Smith gets set in the box. We'll do the 1-2 again. Smith's going to chop one to third. Fielded cleanly to throw over to first. In time for out three. When we return, Mount Union tries to add some insurance, but the Huskies are down to their last 3 outs. Big outing from Yoakum so far. When we return, the last inning at Capoulilez Field. Trojans 2, Huskies 0. Live on MCTV. We return to the top of the 7th tier live on MCTV Baseball. I'm Aiden Stevens. Crownover stays on the bump. Here comes the 0-0. Fouled off. It'll be an 0-1 count. Crownover set. Here comes the pitch. Fouled back. Hit left wing ahead. The face mask, I should say. Looks to be okay. So this game's just a bit over an hour. One of the quickest games we've had all season. Here comes the 1-2. He struck him out. Strikeout 4 for Parker Crownover. Since the top of the 3rd, No runs have been scored for either team. And I believe a total of 2 hits. 3 hits since the top of the 3rd inning. Here comes the 1-0. That'll be low. It'll be 2-0. Huskies play tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. at State College. Scheduled game. We are scheduled for a lot of rain. Popped up right by us. Playing it about 12 feet to my left. Be a 2-1 count. Here comes the 2-1. Takes low. It'll be 3-1 from Crownover. That'll be to number 28, Cody McLean. Here comes the 3-1 to McLean. Chops at the 3rd. Christine diving play to throw over to 1st. It's high and it'll get away. Cody's going to take off for 2nd. That one's going to get away as well. They're going to keep him at 2nd, and that'll be 2 errors for the Huskies. They're going to roll it a hit, actually. My apologies. They're going to switch the hit to an error. I know it's going to be hit. It's going to be a hit and a error. My apologies. Here comes the 0-0. Takes strike 1 inside. Now batting number 25, George Beigler. Here comes the pitch. Swings through strike 2. That'll be an 0-2 count here to Beigler. Pitcher and first baseman. Here comes the 0-2. Fouled off. Goes through the fence. Don't see that one often. The 0-2 once more. Fouled off. We'll do it again. Here comes the 0-2. There's a little dribbler up the middle. Lepley's going to pick it up. Throws it to first in time for the out. Runner takes 3rd. So it'll be a runner on 3rd and 2 outs for Collins. Collins now comes up to the plate. Here comes the 0-0. Collins is going to hit a one right field. Plank gets under it. Gets the 3rd out, and when we return, the bottom half of the last scheduled inning, Huskies down by 2, have 3 hits on the game. It'll be 3 runs to win the game. You're watching MCTV Baseball. Bottom half of the 7th when we return. Yoakum will stay on the mound for the bottom of the 7th. This is the 3rd time the Huskies have seen the pitcher.
Back to Mifflin County
Third time through the order. It'll be 4, 5. Yes, 4, 5, 6 due up. Reese Christine as the lone homer of the Husky season against Bald Eagle area. Huskies need 2 to tie, 3 to win. Here comes the first pitch outside for ball 1. Here comes the 1-0. Christine's going to take low. It'll be 2-0. Huskies have yet to score a run in the 7th inning this season. Here comes the 2-0. Christine's going to chop one third base. They're going to call it foul. Would have been a very close play at first. So it'll be a 2-1 count. Weaver on deck for the Huskies. Crown over in the hole. Or plank, my apologies. That one's going to be chopped to short. Throw over to first. In time for out 1. And the Huskies are down to their last 2 outs. Weaver at the plate. Plank on deck. You don't see often a complete game shutout here in high school baseball. I'd say the real MVP has been this Mount Union defense and Yoakum. Here comes the 0-0 pitch to Weaver. Weaver will take low and away for ball 1. Weaver set the pitch, swings through strike 1. Weaver's going to hit one, blooper short, and it'll get down for a base hit as the tying run now comes up to the plate. They're going to have Elliott Yetter pinch hit for Parker Crownover if we get there.
Pinch runner's going to come in for Mifflin County.
Landon Haig will pinch run for the Huskies. He plays guard. Plays guard in the NBA, or not in the NBA, in basketball, I should say. Haig plays wide receiver in football. Also plays basketball. Plank at the plate. Double play could end the game. Yetter will be on deck, pinch hitting for Crownover. Here comes the pitch. Takes strike 1 on the outside part of the plate. Haig gets the sign from Coach Hopple. Looks over, pickoff attempt is in safely. One ball, one strike to Plank, the right fielder. Had the last put out in the 7th. Plank's going to pop one foul. One hops into the fan. No balls, 2 strike to Plank. Yetter on deck. It'll be Hopple in the hole. Yoakum is set. Here comes the 0-2 to Plank. Haig takes off for second. Plank's going to chop it to short. Throw over to first in time for out 2. And the Huskies are down to their last out. You got to think if Landon Haig didn't steal that base, we could be shaking hands at home plate right now. That would be the game. Huskies down to their last out, tying right at the plate. Yetter can play in the outfield, plays catcher when needed. meeting between pitcher and catcher. They've thrown 6 2/3 innings.
Play together. It is a tying run. Recap. It's 2 runs, 6 hits. No errors in the afternoon. County. No runs, 4 hits, 3 errors. And Mifflin losses.
Here comes the first pitch to Yetter.
First pitch to the
Outside for ball 1. Haig at second. The 1-0 to Yetter.
Waiting to pitch.
Will take strike. That one looked outside. Gets the call. 1 ball, 1 strike to the possible final out. Yoakum looking for a complete game. Swings through strike 2, and the Huskies now down to their final strike. Davin Yoakum set on the mound. The 1-2 pitch to Elliot Yetter.
Here comes the 1-2.
Yetter's going to hit one. Shortstop gets away. Haig's going to stay at third. Yetter reaches and hopples up to the plate. Yetter keeps the Huskies alive for one more batter. We're going to have a mound visit here from the coach. We'll return with the ending of this game live on MCTV Baseball.
Had Elliot Yetter just able to keep this game alive. Rank over shortstop. Just calling the baseball. County has the tying run aboard at first. Go-ahead run's going to be coming up to the plate. And that's going to be Brady Hopland.
Cedar Cliff playing softball yesterday when the pitching coach came out and talked.
Runner on first and third. 2 outs. Bottom of the 7th. Last inning. Out of conference game comes down to the wire. That one's going to be taken for ball 1 high and away. Every game here at Capoulilez Field has been a nail-biter. Huskies had bases loaded with 2 outs, down by 2 against Altoona in the opening game. They beat Chambersburg by 1. We'll take strike 1. Husky dugout isn't happy. They wanted it low. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, 2 on. Runner on third for the Huskies.
Back into the box. 2 outs, runners in the corner.
Here comes the pitch. Take strike 2. Hopple doesn't like the call. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Huskies down to their last strike for the second time today. Yetter takes off. It'll be a hit and run at short. The play over at first in time for the game. And Mount Union shuts out Mifflin County. Davin Yoakum with a complete game shutout. And now,
Ends up being 5 hits, no runs, complete game shutout as Mount Union.
Mifflin County will drop this one against Mount Union. And over the last 2 years, it'll even up the series at 1 apiece.
Big win at Bald Eagle a couple days ago. That one ended after 5 innings, 13.
Big time win for Mount Union. Huskies look to rebound tomorrow at 10 a.m. versus State College. We thank you all for watching MCTV. I'm Aiden Stevens. You be safe and have a good night.